Let's get back to our today's session and let's start with integers. The first slide says operations on integers. Now, what are operations? Basically, addition, subtraction, multiplication, division. These are the basic or the four fundamental operations that we perform on numbers. Now, alright, Anjali, Neha, okay. Pragya, can you tell us what integers are? Can you tell the class what integers are? What you've understood in the previous session?
Integers, like there are natural numbers that are 1 to 3 and continuing, and whole numbers are 0 and natural numbers. Integers are whole numbers and the negative numbers.
Okay, so can I say that the negative natural numbers, 0 and the natural numbers comprise integers? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Yes.
All right, great. And Riddhima, do you agree with what Pragya has to say? Okay. So guys, the first slide says addition of integers. Now, whenever we are talking about operations that we perform on integers, for example, say addition or subtraction, I told you guys in the previous session, try to imagine a number line in front of you. So over here, if I have the number line and if I have 0 in the middle, so now if I have to say add any two integers, for example, let me take an example. Example is add 4 to 2. Now, if I am supposed to add, that means I'm increasing the value, and when I'm increasing the value, we move towards the right on the number line. This is increasing the value. Moving towards the left is decreasing the value. So now how do I add 4 to 2? Remember that we have equal spaces, right? So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All of you agree with me? Now if I have to add 4 to 2, I have 2 over here. How do I add 4? I jump 4 to the right. 1, 2, 3 and 4. This is where I arrive. So when I add 2 to 4, I arrive at 6. Mathematically we do 2 plus 4, but how did that come? That is because we are moving to the right side on the number line. That is how we add. On the other hand, on the contrary, how do we subtract? Logically we move to the left of the number line. Is this clear? This is very simple. For example, if I say subtract 5 from 2, if I say guys subtract 5 from 2, okay. Now if I have to subtract 5, I have to jump 5 times to the left. What you guys can do is 2 minus 5, you arrive at minus 3. But then how do I imagine that on the number line? That is my question. If I have 2 and if I have to reduce it by 5, I am going to jump 5 steps to the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is minus 1, minus 2, minus 3. Where did I arrive? I arrived at minus 3. Simple, clear? Is everyone clear with the logic? Why addition and subtraction? How they are to be imagined on the number line? You jump, as simple as that. You move, right? Now, let's move to the next slide. This is an example for you guys. Using the number line, he says find the sum of plus 2 plus of plus 5. Add 2 and 5, basically using the number line.
Sir, 7.
Okay, that is very easy because we know that 2 plus 5 is 7. Now what about the second one?
Can I try, sir?
Yes, Vamita, what's the second one?
Sir, so we have to open the bracket, so it's minus 5 plus 3, which is minus 2.
Alright, so now you guys know the answer. Now let's put it on the number line so that we're very clear with the concept that we discussed on the previous slide. Alright, so now I have a number line. I have 0, that is the wall, right? In the first one, I have to add 5 to 2. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 2 over here. This is plus 2. All the numbers to the right of 0 are positive. All the numbers to the left of 0 are negative. This is clear. Remember the previous session. I have plus 2. That means it is to the right of 0. To plus 2, I add 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 jumps. Where do I arrive at? I arrive at plus 7. Now what about the second one? I have 0. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I have minus 5. That means minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4 and minus 5. That means I am over here, right? To minus 5, when I add, do I move to the right or do I move to the left, Pragya? Whenever I add a number on the number line, do I move to the right or do I move to the left?
We move to the right side.
So to minus 5, I am going to add 3. 1, 2, 3. Where do I arrive at? Minus 2. Did you guys understand? I took 2 examples to explain the concept on the previous slide. Is this clear? Is everyone clear? Sure. Great. Now, we have 3 rules of addition. They're called the general rules of addition. What does the rule number 1 say? It says that the sum of 2 positive integers is always a positive integers that is obtained by taking the sum of the numerical value of addends. Now, what are addends? Addends are simply the numbers that are being added. Don't get very confused with the terminology. Now guys, if I have 2 positive numbers, when I say 2 positive numbers, that is if I have a number line, if both the numbers are positive, that means they lie on the right side of 0 on the number line. All of you agree with me on this point, right? Now what does he say? He says when I'm adding these 2 positive integers, is there any chance that if I add 2 positive numbers, I will get a negative number? Vamika, is there any chance?
No.
Why is it not possible? Yashika.
Yes, sir. What?
Vamika, Yashika, 1 second, I'll come back to you. Vamika, my question is, if we have 2 numbers which are positive and if I add it, is there any chance that I will get a negative number?
No, sir.
And why is that the case? What's the reason behind it?
That's because, sir, we're moving to the right.
Brilliant. So when you're moving to the right, negatives lie to the left of 0. We're talking about entirely about numbers that lie to the right of 0. Now what is this question? Look at the example. He says find the sum of 1342 and 4235. What's the answer for this, guys? Type in the answer real quick. It should not take you more than 10 seconds.
So what is the question?
Find the sum of 1342 and 4235. You can see my screen, right?
Yes, sir.
Right.
Let me just do it.
Five, 577, right. Now what all of you did is 1342 plus 4235. 5577. This is what you did. Now what I'm trying to imbibe in you guys is, yes, all of you are pretty good with the operations, but imagine, that is what I'm trying to say. If I have a number line, I'm not going to put in numbers until 5000. I know that if I have 1342, say it is somewhere over here, and to 1342, if I add 4235, I am going to still move to the right. That means the number is going to be greater than the 2 of them. When I add both of them, simply 1342 is a positive number. So I write plus, what am I adding it to? Plus 4235. What am I ending up with? A plus 5577. As simple as that. Are we clear with this? Are we clear with the rule? Are we clear with the first rule, guys?
No, sir. I don't understand.
Okay. What did you understand? Tell me which part you didn't understand.
Sir, I didn't understand about this number line.
1 second. Neha, what did you understand?
I didn't understand about the number line you told after yes, this. I didn't understand about the number line.
Vamika, can you clear Neha's doubt?
Yes, sir. So, let's take the example. So there's some noise coming from. Yes, so now it's not coming. So, the example is find the sum of 1,342 and 4,235.
Right.
So, when we add this, then we move to the right-hand side of the number line because we have to add. So, when we add, we move to the right. So, that's why we will not land on a negative number. We will always land on a positive number.
Okay. So when I'm adding 1342 and 4235, is there a chance of getting a number less than 4235 or 1342?
No.
No. Now, Neha, is your doubt clear now?
Yes, sir.
All right, great. Rule number 2. The rule number 2 says the sum of two negative integers is a negative integer. Now, what is he telling us? For example,
it's always negative only.
Right. Before I take this example, let me take a smaller example to get very good clarity in my own head. If I have a number line, I have 0. If I say -7 plus -5. Now guys, remember the operations. We are going to discuss the operations further ahead. But before that, you guys know that plus into plus gives us plus. When two same operations are multiplied, it is positive. Negative into negative also gives us positive. But positive into negative gives us negative, right? Now, what is the example that I have taken? I'm saying that I have -7, which is a negative integer, and I have -5. What do I get when I add the two negative integers, basically?
Sir, can I tell?
Yes.
So like -7 will like remain -7, but plus -5 will be -5 because plus minus is equal to minus. So it's going to be -7 -5, which is actually we're going to add, which is 12.
Brilliant, right? So basically, if I am at
Sir, can I say something?
Yes, Yashika.
So we have -7 plus -5, right?
Right.
So, because these two, both the numbers are negative,
Yes.
we add negatively.
Correct. So where do we move on the number line?
Left side.
Very good, very good. So what would the answer be to -7 plus -5?
Sir, actually, what you have written in the rule to the sum of two negative integers is a negative integer obtained by taking negative sign to the sum of the numerical values. I don't understand that.
Okay, so do not focus on the rule. I stopped at the first statement. I said the sum of two negative integers is a negative integer. How are we trying to prove that? We are looking at the number line and say we are moving to the left. I have -7. If -7 and -5 are to be added, what does the second part say? By taking the negative sign to the sum of the numerical values. He says take the negative sign. And what are the numerical values? 7 and 5. So what do I get? -12. As simple as that. Now, let's look at the example. He says find the sum of -7,546 and -5,230. What would the answer be? Vamika, Pragya says -12759. Do you agree with her?
So could you just give me a minute?
Yes, okay. Pragya has given an answer. Vamika, do you agree with her?
Sir, yes, I agree with her.
And why is that so? Where are we moving on the number line when we are adding?
We're moving on the left side. So we will say negative.
And why are we moving to the left?
Because we have to subtract.
Brilliant. Because we are dealing with negative numbers. Whenever I'm dealing with two negatives, I'm only talking about the left hand side of the number line, but the left hand side of 0 basically. Alright? Are we clear?
Sir, actually, if it is two negative numbers, it will be always subtraction, right?
Right. So basically,
Sir, when I have another doubt too. If
Yes.
it is minus 17 minus 15 means what will be it?
can you tell me minus 17?
Sorry, minus 17 minus 5.
Is this what you're saying?
Yeah, what will be the answer then?
Now what is minus into minus, Neha?
Minus into minus.
Look at the three operations I wrote on top.
Minus into minus positive.
Right. So what is minus 17 plus 5? What do I get? I have minus 17 somewhere over here. If I am adding 5, that means I'm moving 5 to the right. 5 jumps to the right. Are you able to imagine? So when I move 5 to the right, won't I end up at minus 12? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Are you now clear? Imagine, try to imagine where we are jumping. Are we jumping to the right? Are we jumping to the left? Where are we jumping? Alright? Are you clear with this?
Yes, sir.
Right. So minus 7,546 minus 5,213 is going to give us, as Pragya said, minus 12,759. Perfect. Now let's look at this rule number 3. This is an interesting one. Rule number 1 spoke about adding two positive integers. Rule number 2 spoke about adding two negative integers. Now rule number 3 is combining. What does he say? He's talking about adding a positive integer and a negative integer. That means if I am imagining my number line, I have some positive integer to the right of 0. I have some negative integer to the left of 0. He is trying to add these two. If I am to imagine it, alright. Now, what does he say? Look at the example. He says find the sum of minus 456 and plus 987. Now, where does 987 lie, guys? Does it lie to the left of 0 or to the right of 0?
Left of 0.
987. Wait. Neha, think again. 987 lies.
Sir, I told it about 456.
Okay, I have 987. 456. Brilliant. 456 lies to the left of 0. 986 lies to the right.
987 less minus 456. Okay, so I got my answer, sorry.
Okay. Now what is he telling us? He is asking us the sum. That means sum means addition, minus 456 plus 987. Or how can I write it? I can also write it as 987 minus 456. Does it make any difference, guys? No, right? So what is the this? What am I getting? 531.
Sir, it is making a difference.
Yeah.
I was saying that, sir, it does make a difference.
I'm not understanding. Can you please do it on the number line?
Yeah, I'm going to do that now. No.
So some noise is coming from someone's house and it's very disturbing.
Let me mute everyone. Yeah, I think it's fine now. All right. Now, how do I put on the number line? I have minus 456. So say I have minus 456. All of you agree with me? To this minus 456, he says add 987. So if I'm adding 987, that means I have to jump 987 times to the right of 456. Is that clear, Neha? If I want to imagine it on the number line, are you following? That means I have to make so many jumps. How many jumps? 987 jumps to the right of minus 456. So when I do that, where do I arrive at? I arrive at a number called 531. Is that clear? Now Neha, tell me, if I make 456 jumps to the right of minus 456, where will I end up at? Quick.
Sir, can you please write it down the question?
Listen to me. If I jump 456 times to the right side of minus 456, where will I end up at? Who can answer? I've put a very basic equation in the form of words.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, Pragya?
So you said that minus 456 plus 987, if you put it in any order, it doesn't matter. But so according to me, it should matter.
I'll come to that. It matters.
Sir, can you please tell the question again? I'm just doing it.
Okay, I'm saying I am at minus 456. Neha, you are standing at minus 456.
Okay.
You take 456 jumps to the right side. From minus 456, you take 456 jumps to the right. Where do you reach?
0.
Exactly. Now, that is what I'm trying to say. But from minus 456, he asked us to take 987 jumps. That is the reason we ended up at 531.
So basically, to add a positive integer and a negative integer, you will always get positive.
Not necessary.
Negative or positive.
Yes. See, if I say minus 456 plus 1, what do you get? If I say minus 456 plus 1, what do you get?
Sir, minus 456 plus?
1.
So we get minus 455.
Exactly. Did I get a positive answer?
No, sir.
No. I just took one jump, moved at minus 455. Is that out clear?
Yes, sir.
Now, let me look at this in another way. That means I have a number line. I am at 0. Now, what did I say? I said minus 456 plus 987 is the same as plus 987 minus 456. Pragya said she thinks otherwise. Numerically, I got the answer as 531. Now, in the previous one, we moved from the left to the right. Now, let's see how we can do it the other way around. I am at plus 987. Say this is we are at 987. If I am subtracting 456, when I am subtracting, don't I move to the left? You agree with me? Subtraction is moving to the left. How many steps am I moving? How many jumps am I taking? 456 jumps. That is the reason I am ending up at somewhere over here called plus 531. Are you now clear, Pragya?
Sir, can you please repeat? As I'm not able to listen to you.
Numerically, both of them are the same. Minus 4 plus 987 or plus 987 minus 4.
Sir, your voice is cracking.
Pragya, there's some disturbance at your end. There's some disturbance in the background.
Yeah, so actually my parents are talking to someone.
Okay. So what I'm saying is, if I have minus 456 plus 987 or plus 987 minus 456, numerically I am getting plus 531. You've agreed till there. Now, I have plotted it on the number line. Minus 456 plus 987 is what I did on the previous slide, right? I moved from minus 456, 987 steps to the right to arrive at plus 531. You agree with me? Pragya. Now, what did I do in the second case? I said, let me start with 987. So I put 987 on the number line. That is over here. Now, if I have 987 minus 456, whenever I am subtracting, I move to the left on the number line. You agree with me? So when I took 456 steps to the left of 987, that means the value obviously reduced. It reduced to what? 531. Are you now clear, Pragya? Numerically, both are the same. I also wanted to visualize how it moves on the number line. That's the reason.
Yeah, sir.
Cool.
Yes, it's now understandable.